Good evening, afternoon to you. Today, my topic will concentrate on life of a senior, but it is also addressed to the 45-year-olds whose parents are now passing 70, 75, and some maybe even 80. So this is for seniors who are no more in the helm and are following other people's orders and are feeling depressed that life has passed on, and some may be even saying better if we die. So this is a two-generational connect that the 45-year-olds will know how to make it better, and the 75-year-olds will know to help yourself. I hope this will bring some medical issues into focus also, but it is mostly a little sociological, spiritual reprieve to consider your elders who have long served you personally, long served the country, and so on. Of course, some of you may be 35 and your dad or mom may be 75, so that's also possible. So listen with that connect in mind. Remember also your days of your youth before the evil days come and the years draw near when you will say, I have no delight in them. So in this context of evil, meaning the days you fear, that's the consideration here. When you are no more the master of your destiny, so to say, when you are no more in control, you fear the days because you really don't know who will decide for you. Even if you fall sick, who will decide for you, where you will be taken, and whether you will be landed in elder's home, and whether your son or daughter will not be able or keen or not in a position to look after you. So evil here is defined in this context of days that are uncertain and fearful days. Before the fearful days come, years draw near when you will say, I have no delight in them. So these are the days that delight of life has gone on, and there is a real struggle for existence because you don't know what's coming on and you are no more in control of it. So I have defined a senior as one, almost all your decisions are made by others. You only follow them. So cultivate early good relationship with people who will take over decision making from you. Is that sensible advice? Yes. Since you taught them how to decide, it should be easy to follow their decisions. This includes your posterity and your colleagues. So before these fearful days come, days of anxiety and apprehension, when you are not the master of your destiny, it looks like, it is good to have a decision making process where those who will look after you or will be relating to you when you are not at the helm learn a compassionate, considerate decision-making process from you. Now, for some of you, it may be too late for that, but for many of you, maybe you will now reconsider how you make decisions, because those who come to a place where they are bossing over you may learn some good kind ways from you, the way you made the decisions. So please remember that when you are making decisions. Fourth point, yes. So cultivate early good relationship with people who will take over decision making. Since you taught them how to decide, it should be easy to follow their decisions. And this is true for your posterity, your own children, and for your colleagues who may now sit on your head, so to say. Point number 4, so make your decisions when you are powerful with truth, mercy, humility, and sensitivity. Tell your kids and colleagues why and how you make those just and compassionate decisions. That's important coaching, isn't it? Fifth point, remember that's going to serve you well when you are at the receiving end of their decisions. This includes your posterity and your colleagues. Yes. Then before the sun and the light, the moon and the stars are darkened, and clouds return after the rain. This is to say, with eyesight dimming and with not much of outside life, morning to evening may go through without much of a change. Let that not be our portion in life, but that it may come to us. That is why it says stars are darkened also means your eyesight might be obviously not at the peak. And clouds return after the rain, meaning it is the weather is so, when you're aging, you always ask people, other wahida, and you make comments on the weather when you're aging. And when you're younger, who cares about the weather? Whatever the weather is, you do what you want to do. But another feature of seniority is commenting about the weather and being fearful about the weather. So that's the expression. In the day that the watchman of the house trembled. Now this description takes the human body as a house. So watchmen are the frontliners. So the entrance to the body is the mouth. So the watchmen are the teeth. In the day that the watchman of the house trembled. Now this is a very, what shall I say, this is a very poignant expression that those who were once watchmen are now trembling. You yourself, when people come to that age, they are trembling. So your teeth are also trembling. And mighty men stoop, the grinding ones stand idle because they are few. So you are not chewing hard stuff. Even chewing cashew nut might become difficult, and hard beef is certainly difficult. Mighty men stoop, the grinding ones stand idle because they are few. So teeth have dropped, and those who look through windows grow dim. That's about eyesight, and when that is happening. And the doors on the street are shut as the sounds of the grinding mill is low. So your hearing is now lessening, and one will arise at the sound of the bird, and all the daughters of song will sing softly. So any little bird's noise gets you up earlier than normal. And all the daughters, meaning those who once sang so well, their voices have lost their pitch, and that's the age change on the vocal cords, yes. But don't stop singing. Furthermore, men are afraid of high places and of terrors on the road. So you see seniors trying to cross the road, particularly in a country where the yellow lines are not observed at all. So the lesson for us is give them always a chance to cross. If you're on a vehicle, please give them a chance to cross. Set an example, Furthermore, men are afraid of plagues and of terrors on the road. The almond tree blossoms. That's about your top, like mine. Almond tree, when it blossoms, it's all white, yes. When the almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper drags himself along. That is at the end of a long day, so to say. And the caperberry is ineffective, for man goes to his eternal home, while mourners go about in the street. Remember him now. That brings to memory Prince Philip yesterday, his burial, and what a sturdy British Greek he was. What a sturdy British life he lived, isn't it? And most of Britain is forgetting British majesty and British steadfastness, and in our medical life we always look for British academia. Now it's gone quite fake. Remember him before the silver cord is broken and golden bowl is crushed. So our life is compared to a golden bowl hanging on a silver thread, and the pitcher by the well is shattered and the wheel at the cistern is crushed. So the old wells would have a pulley, you remember? A wheel that you remember how we used to draw water. So the expression is this: one's life is a drawing of water, one day at a time, and you let down the rope, and next day also you draw the water for life, And day by day, now in the ancient habit of drawing water, once a day where water was at premium, and I don't know how many of you remember that in my childhood we drew water from a well, and it was done once a day, usually in the afternoon or evening, because it's easier to draw at that time if you had your own well. Others had to go to public wells and share wells, but so it was a daily thing. So this little description comes from a book called Ecclesiastes, which was Solomon's last words. Solomon was a wise king who became unwise. In his meanderings and wanderings, he comes back to senses by philosophizing through life issues. This is his chapter of returning to sanity and understanding. So bear with me as I go through side by side. Remember him before the silver cord is broken. So life is spoken of as a golden bowl and a silver cord. Before the golden bowl is crushed. Pitcher by the well is shattered. Pitcher is your life. Daily was available for filling. Comparison being life is like a well. Draw one day at a time. And then next day comes, you draw again. Next day comes, you draw again. So the bucket goes down empty, so to say, comes up filled, and then the bucket is emptied to be filled again. So one day of a pitcher is one day of a life, and so we are asked to be humble, considerate, knowing that every day is to be taken as a gift from God with gratitude. That's the emphasis here. Don't be proud. Live every day with gratitude, hopefully being able to help someone. Yes. Patience, faith, and gratitude. Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it. So the material part of us goes down, and the non-material part of us arises to the one who gave it. So today I was speaking to a young chap. He said he's an agnostic, and that is because he can't make a decision definitely that God is not. I said, you are right. To say atheism, to say atheist, you have to search the universe and be absolutely sure that God is not hiding even in a cave. Otherwise, how you will need God-like omniscience to say God isn't. Correct? Yeah. It needs God-like omniscience to be absolutely 100% sure God isn't. Yeah. So this young chap says he's agnostic. Agnosis, no knowledge that he is. So I posited to him that the soul of man, the reason for this, the soul of man has the reason of the spirit, and the spirit of a child is on a search. I call it intuitive search for wonder. That wonder is what children know as God, the searching, researching wonder. So for them, sunrise is wonder, sunset is wonder, thunder is wonder, lightning is wonder, a flower is wonder, a fruit is wonder. That's his tuition in who God may be. So I posited that philosophical line. I have been thinking about it. So when the child, till about 12, child has this curiosity. I like to say curiosity is God. Curiosity is God. That searching for some little thing, some little understanding, which feeds the intellect of a child till about 12. After that, of course, he needs to be directed. And by about 12, the momentum of the spirit of the child drops if parents don't feed it. So my suggestion is, parents, that pretty early you have to take over spiritual instruction. Otherwise, his soul will follow the dictate of laws of thermodynamics of rundown and entropy. It's a spirit of the child that you say very sprightly. This little fellow never gives up. Yes, he never gives up. You know, little fellows, they get onto something and they're at it. They don't have to be told, do it like this, but they're at it. So spirit of the child is very insistent, very creative, very searching, very exploratory. That's the spirit that feeds our soul. But when the childhood is coming to an end, that spirit needs nurturing and that spirit needs feeding. If not the soul will learn the friction of the adult. It's a child's wonder to make new friends and catch up and smile always, greets a stranger heartily. That's the God part in him. But when the spirit runs down, he becomes crotchety like dad or like mom. That's it, yeah. So there's a little reverie on this well-known verse. When the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it, vanity of vanities, says the preacher, all is vanity. Now actually this English word vanity is not accurate enough. It's enigma. The Greek word is, the Hebrew word is enigma. Life is an enigma, meaning it cannot be understood without a definition from the giver of life. So let me read 3:29 in this same thing. 3:21. Who knows that the breath of man ascends upward, and the breath of the... I have seen that nothing is better than man should be happy in his activities, but that is his lot. For who will bring him to see what will occur after him? So always man has this thing, what will happen to me after this? So every religion provides for people to manipulate the life of those who have gone ahead, because religion wants to make it safe. That's not my view, but that's what religion is. I rather make it safe while I am here. But the human wants to make it safe even beyond the grave. That's the point that is taken here. So 3:12 says, 3:11, he has made everything appropriate, beautiful in his time. He has also set eternity in their heart, yet so that man will find out the work which God has done from the beginning even to the end. So the quest in the spirit of man is to find out the work that has gone on. That's why man does research, man does exploration, go to other planets, but man has far more serious research to get inside him and find out how his heart is ticking. I don't mean the physical heart, but his desires, ambitions, how are they ticking? I know that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and to do good in one's lifetime. Moreover, every man who eats and drinks sees good in all his labor. It is the gift of God. So this is the assumption of the preacher, that work and enjoyment is the gift of God. I know that everything God does will remain forever. There is nothing to add to it and there is nothing to take from it, for God has so worked that men should revere him. That which is has been already, and that which will be has already been, for God seeks what has passed by. One more and I'll get on to some clarifications. 7:29. Behold, I have found only this, that God made men upright, but they have sought out many schemes on their own. Now, Golden Sunset Manifesto, maybe a little thing before that, work, family and relationships. Training others to take over more of what you do can be gainful entry into sunset of life. Let's age gracefully. In training we run slower but grow deeper. Don't hold on to the helm until all hope for your disappearance. Let up gradually. So they see a senior less vigorous but more amiable and available. Now, I said at the beginning, I am doing this little talk for 45-year-olds to make it easy for their parents. And some of you may be 35 and parents are passing 75, feeling we are useless, nobody cares for us, day hangs on us, So let that not happen. It will be sad. So they see a senior less vigorous. Your succession finds you well employed under them. Now we have to live under those whom we once ruled, even our posterity. You are there to help them when they are in the driving seat, protecting their back and providing them with a spare wheel, which is you. Hard rule, isn't it? When we have been the engine and everything, to be the spare wheel, but then there's a function needed, and if we buckle down to this at that stage and at that age, of course, that will be valued. Your wisdom will be long valued when you wait till they need it. So, okay, Golden Sunset Manifesto. 1. Get ready in the morning, wash up and dress up as if you are going to work. Do some sweeping and cleaning of your own quarters to the extent you can. Be useful around, Of course, these are humble duties, but they'll keep you sane. They'll give you exercise. They'll give you a timetable. Uttermost important is draw your timetable as far as possible. Every hour keep that timetable, which will include washing, laundry, eating time, reading time, but put it into a timetable, garden stroll, whatever you can do, put it into a timetable and keep your timetable every day. You avoid Alzheimer. Like as if you are going to work. So whether you work in your home setting and retirement, or whether you are working in an office, is a mindset. You are working, okay? Make a timetable hour by hour of simple doables. Point number 2, your fear of heights has to be removed. Your son will provide a room on the ground floor so that you need not fear inability to climb stairs. Your daughter will take care of you in their own home. God will give seniors a spirit of contentment rather than demand. This is where seniors get defeated if you can't be content with what you have. So we have to practice this, being content and gratitude and a lot of thank you, truly being thankful, yes. Point number 4, we bless you with good relationship with son-in-law and daughter-in-law. You will yet be useful when that's your attitude. Point number 5, write 4 pages of handwriting in 2 languages. This is medical advice, as long as you can. 4 pages in 2 languages, long as you can. That will delay Alzheimer. Shift completely to read printed stuff. Reduce drastically online reading stuff. Not that you are prohibited, but increase dramatically. Get back to reading books, printed books, yes. Being off the screen as much as possible, because if you don't do that earlier in seniority, you become a victim and TV and screen becomes a trap. So we are hoping that there would not be disabilities, that every joint will have reasonable function, isn't it? Those are our hopes. Let not ill effects of diabetes, hypertension really trouble. We don't even want them to come, isn't it? Yes. Then reasonable hearing and eyesight. A lot of physical things I am mentioning. That we will have functionality in every vital organ. Now the 45-year-olds, you are hoping this for your parents. You might even pray for it. Functionality in every vital organ, heart, brain and kidney. We would not want to have anyone with renal failure, isn't it? It's a very costly, miserable thing in Sri Lanka, yes. You will have no obstruction in your urinary system, no cancer cells anywhere in our body, that our immune system would be so good that any cancer cell that crops up will be swallowed by our immune system. Truth is that cancer is a aberration that starts in one cell in the genome, and when the immune system is well, that abnormal genetic sequence, cell with that sequence is picked up and destroyed, and it doesn't spread anymore. So a healthy immune system will prevent cancer. We don't want Alzheimer at all or failing memory. Your organs must not fail before your departure. You are an elder statesman in life. Be assured of your identity, worth, and significance. These issues matter in all seasons, but more so when you are likely to feel, no one wants me much nowadays. How sad if that would be, isn't it? Yes. 15, you will have no fear of desolation, disappointment, depression, distress, deprivation, or loneliness. Point number 16, you will have no family disputes, no land disputes, no court cases, no debt. No thief will break into your home. No fraud will get at your finances. 18, you are getting ready for a golden sunset. Your smile is returning. You will be surrounded by the friends whom you cultivated all your life. So cultivate friends who are not after your money, who are not after your talent. Friendship is of God, and cultivate friends who stay with you lifelong. Yes. You will be surrounded by the friends whom you cultivated all your life. You will wake up well rested, in readiness to do whatever work you have to do. So may you not have anxiety, unable to fall asleep, or have depression where you get up from sleep too early and can't fall asleep. Let not that torment come to you. Sleep is a gift of God. You will have a pleasant afternoon rest, which is very healthy really. Hours will not hang around you. Gardening and a pet may come in as useful exercise. So remember that. It keeps your muscles supple, and every bit of exercise keeps your brain supple, brain neuroplastic. So board games, carom, table tennis as long as you can. Hang the cricket ball back. If it's a leather ball, it's better. And if you do this on a matting, on a choir rope carpet, so that taking aim and with the bat talk, it may sound boring, but it has great neurological benefit for your brain. Yes. Grandchildren will be a great boon around you. Pets are always good. Yeah. Dogs may be better than cats. Yeah. Grandchildren will be a great boon around you. You will even be vibrant in the brain doing homework with them. That's a great exercise. Modern parents do need that, where they get so career conscious and time gets, Point number 21, you will have sound sleep, good rest, no agitation, no unpleasant surprises. Enjoy kindness on every side. Dispense forgiveness. Agree with spouse about romance and sex life. Even at 80 years, men like physical sex. Men are like that. Since your wife will be feeble, you have to have a plan how you might keep romance and sexual joy in your life. So these are some little thoughts. I have one more to share with you about the Good Shepherd and these 3 stations in life to practice always. Here it is, this passage, some of you know. Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So you will come to that age of seniority where you don't have to compete, no struggle for existence. Envy is not part of your life, gratitude is. So envy is really the opposite of gratitude. Gratitude makes everything enough. Envy makes everything not enough. Correct? Gratitude makes everything enough. Envy makes everything not enough. So Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Here's first station, he makes me lie down in green pastures. So first station is a rested lying down. and pastures are sufficiently, reasonably prosperous. Then he leads me besides quiet waters, so he's leading me into more that he has for me. So there's a resting and a lying down, and there's a leading, not a haphazard, suddenly, knee-jerk, hastily. No, you're being led into what more Good Shepherd has for you. Then third point, and my final point is, he restores my soul. So that's a place of restoration, place of recovery. May your station in life in those days of senior years may find restoration of all your hopes and all your dreams. Thank you for listening. Please share this with both the 45-year-olds and the 75-year-olds and anything in between. I mean, I feel it's a sensible thing to practice with elders not cared for much at all, even at a young age, but certainly passing 45, they need to get ready to help their seniors who are still alive, and 75-year-olds certainly need to get this little wisdom of having a golden sunset where things are getting better, brighter, and not gloomier. Yes, thank you for listening.